Hi guys, so today we will review the final episode of Last of Us Season 2. Let's get into the breakdown. The episode starts with Dina, who was hurt from the last episode due to the Scars attack, and Jesse trying to remove the arrow that is pierced into her leg. And Jesse offers her alcohol, but she denies this due to her pregnancy, which Jesse doesn't know yet. And Ellie returns after hunting Nora and she demands to see Dina, which Jesse tells her that Dina is doing fine. And Ellie goes over to Dina and she sees that she's hurt, but she's fine and bandaged. Then we get the scene from the game where Ellie tells Dina how she got the information out of Nora and she got towards Wheel and Vale. Ellie then apologizes to Dina because they were hunting Joel because of her. The next day, the Jesse and Ellie go off for patrol hunting the WLF, and Dina gives Ellie her bracelet. And in this scene, you can see that Jesse's third wheel clearly. So out on the streets, Ellie and Jesse go through the streets looking for WLF, possibly, and Ellie asks Jesse how he found them, and Jesse just gets to the point that he knows that Dina is pregnant and she's keeping it a secret. Then they come across a Scar kid being hunted by WLF, and Ellie wants to save the kid, but Jesse doesn't allow it, and the WLF take the kid off, and Ellie is hurt by this, and she's protesting, but Jesse tells that he's going to be a father, so he needs to be he needs to save himself. Then we see the WLF amassing troops, and Jeffrey Wright's character Isaac, who's their leader. He's planning an attack on the Scars Island, and he's looking for Abby. And he tells that there are many Owens and Manny's, but he needs Abby because he sees the next leader in Abby to lead them to their supposed victory against the Scars. Meanwhile, Jesse and Ellie reach the one of the bookstores, having few of Jesse's old stashes, and they take a break from the run. And Jesse sits down to explain how he fell in love with another girl who came to Jackson, and he loves Dina, but not in that way, the same way as Ellie loves Dina. So he reveals himself that while he loves Dina, he is clearly in love with someone else, the other girl. And while they are talking about this, they get shortly interrupted by a radio chatter where they hear sniper shots from obviously Tommy. So they almost triangulate the approximate position based on the information they get from the radio chatter and head towards the same location. And they look over this abandoned building, and Ellie sees the giant wheel and recognizes that it is the auditorium. Jesse and Ellie have a brief argument regarding going towards Tommy or pursuing Abby. Ellie calls Jesse a hypocrite for letting the Scar Kid die from before, and Jesse decides to leave and tells her he hopes she makes it. We get a short glimpse of Dina back in the theater and Isaac getting ready for the assault. Meanwhile, Ellie decides to go towards the wheel and decides to get a boat from the docks. And she sees the wheel in the distance, giant wheel in the distance of the auditorium. And right as she's about to leave, she sees movement down at the docks, and those are WLF soldiers that are preparing for the assault. So while she takes aim, she sees that there are more than one boat, and there is an army basically that is preparing for an attack on the island. So finally, she takes over a vote after they leave, and she heads for the auditorium. So this is where we will get the wave sequence from the game. So that is similarly handled in the season 2 episode as well. So Ellie heads out to the aquarium, and as she heads out, the storm gets even stronger and stronger, and she braves the waves, and but unfortunately gets to a giant wave which knocks her over, and her boat goes under. So basically, she gets knocked over by the giant wave and she loses her path. So she survives this and washes ashore and gets over to the land. But unfortunately, this is the Scars Island, and she's spotted by a kid who brings the elders, who take her to their leader and for the hanging. So in the season 2, we get Ellie being hanged instead of Abby in the game, and the scene is pretty much similar. But as Ellie is being hanged, they get a call from the others that their island is being attacked, their village is being by attacked, Isaac's forces that we saw earlier depart for the island. So all this while Ellie is being hanged, and she tells him to let Ellie go, and Ellie falls to the ground just in the nick of time. So another coincidence, and this saves Ellie's life when she finds a gun that is conveniently placed there. So Ellie runs from there, saves herself, gets back to the boat, takes it out to the water, and sets off for the auditorium and leaves the island behind. Takes one glimpse back at the burning island where the war between the Scars and WLF is ongoing, but she is focused on her task at hand and she heads over to the auditorium. And we get some more great scenes of mouth breathing acting by Bella Ramsey. And yeah, she gets over to the auditorium and she gets in through the open window, pretty much similar to that what we saw in the game. And she dries off her bullets. This is a neat detail in season 2. So Ellie is thinking possibly Joel taught her this. We get a glimpse of the hallway where Ellie killed Abby's dog, but this is completely skipped in the episode. Ellie heads over to find Mel and Owen talking, and this scene is basically shot to shot from the game. And Ellie demands them to give her Abby's location, or just give the map and show where Abby is. And Owen refuses this initially, telling he's the one who saved her, but decides to give this map to Ellie. And being the smartest man alive on the planet, he decides to try his luck and shoot at Ellie. This go down as well as you think, and he gets shot. And conveniently, if you see, Mel was standing right behind Owen. So instead of the gruesome stabbing scene from the game, we get a quick parallel shooting scene by stroke of luck. So Mel, who was standing directly behind Owen, gets shot as well, and she starts bleeding through her throat and falls to the ground and reveals that she is pregnant. So pretty much the same effect, but even less violent than the game. And Mel asks Ellie to take the baby out, and Ellie tells her she doesn't know, but Mel tells her the procedure as she is dying. But Ellie is unable to understand even one word of it, and Mel says to Ellie that she's doing good as she dies. So this scene is heartbreaking and shocking, and I don't even know how Neil Druckmann comes up with such scenes. And yeah, Tommy and Jesse comes back to save Ellie, who is clearly shook by the whole thing after killing a pregnant woman. And Tommy sees this. Even Jessie is shocked of the events of what Ellie has done, and he imagines what Ellie is capable of, and thinks of the parallel between a pregnant Dina and the pregnant dead lady that was laying in front of her. Back with Dina in the theater, Ellie returns, clearly shook, and Dina is concerned. Some time passes, and yeah, Jesse and Tommy are thinking about going back, and Ellie also decides that maybe she should give up her search for Abby, and Tommy decides to go pack his duffel bags, and Jesse and Ellie have a moment together back together again. So Ellie tells him that he is indeed a good person for coming back to save her. So they hear a commotion and they run towards where Tommy went, because that's obviously what you do. You run towards the danger, even though you don't even know. You run at full speed to where you heard the sound, even without checking any corners. So yeah, this is the Jesse death scene. As soon as he enters, Abby shoots him in the head, and he falls to the ground. So yeah, Jesse is gone. Just like the game, he gets wasted as a character in the season 2 as well. And as Jesse is laying dead, Abby tells Ellie to get up and throw off her gun, or she will shoot Tommy as well. She points a gun at Tommy, and Ellie comes out, and Abby realizes that it is indeed Ellie. And this scene is also pretty much similar to the game, and Ellie tells Abby that it was her, that Joel killed Abby's father because of her, Ellie, and she pleads for letting Tommy go to letting Tommy go. She pleads to Abby to let Tommy go, but Abby says that she let her go, but she wasted it. So this is pretty much similar to the scene where then we cut to black, and we go back in time, and we see Abby sleeping, and possibly Manny. Yeah, possibly Manny. This is Manny who comes and wakes up Abby and tells her they have to go. So she needs to get ready. So she tells Manny to give her a minute as she gets ready. So those who have played the game know exactly what is happening. For others, this might be a shock. Abby walks outside, and this is revealed to be the stadium which the WLF converted into one of their bases. As she looks over, she sees all the people in front of her. You can see farms, you can see animal shelters, everything. So WLF was pretty much well organized. And as she walks over, you get the reveal that this is Seattle day 1. So we are back to the beginning of the days. So that's where episode 7 of season 2 ends. So season 3 will pretty much be Abby's story, and picks up from day 1, or we will possibly get a flashback of Abby's story and her dad and Owen and all those love story and the story behind the crew and everything. So yeah, pretty much that is the episode, the final and ending. Overall, I didn't like this season. Season 1 was fine, but season 2 was worse. Bella Ramsey's acting is horrible, and she's not a good actress. Overall, the season 2 has been very disappointing, retconning the original story and ruining many of the character moments. So yeah, another Neil Druckmann disaster. Overall, 6 out of 10.